Welcome to this 45-minute yoga class with a focus on hips and lower body. This is an all-level practice, great for beginners. I will show you how to use a blanket and yoga blocks to modify the poses and find a better support for your body. When you are ready to start, meet me in a simple cross-legged sit. Ground your sit bones down, lengthen the spine, relax your shoulders away from the ears, hands in your lap or on your knees, and close your eyes for a moment. Simply notice how your body feels in this position. If you feel any tightness around your lower back, hips, outer and inner thighs, without judging these sensations, simply notice. For many of us, sitting in a cross-legged position is a bit uncomfortable because of tightness in the hips and lower body. At the end of this class, we will come back to the same position and hopefully you will feel a bit of difference. Take another breath in and out here. Gently open your eyes and let's begin. With your next inhale, lift your heart, pull your shoulders back, look up. Exhale, lean back and round your upper back, drop chin to chest. Inhale, lift your heart forward, pull your shoulders back. And exhale, round the back, chin to chest. Moving with your breath a few more times, warming up the spine. One more time, inhale, lift your heart. Exhale, round the spine. And from here start circling the body to the left, forward to the right, moving clockwise, circling the upper body over the legs, over the hips. Noticing what you feel in the hips, lower back, thighs. Change direction and move a few more times anti-clockwise, making your circles as big as you can, warming up the hips. Return back to starting position. And for a side stretch, release your right hand down and reach your left arm up and over the head. Keep the sit bones grounded on the mat and reach your left hand, the fingertips, away from your left hip. Take another big breath. Inhale, reach both arms up to the sky. And exhale, fold forward over your legs. You can stay on your hands or lower your forearms down. Simply relax your upper body. Notice if you feel a deeper stretch on the hips when you bend forward. Slowly come back up, switch the cross of the legs, and for the other side release your left hand to the side and reach your right arm up and over, finding a big side stretch from the right hip through the side of the waist, shoulder, armpit. With inhale, come to center, reach arms up to the sky, find a bit more length in the upper body. And exhale, fold forward, release your hands or forearms to the mat. Maybe you feel a bit of difference on this side when another shin is in front. Lift your upper body. Place your hands behind you for support, feet mat distance apart, and drop your knees side to side a couple of times. Try to lower the knees all the way down to the floor. If you want to make it a little harder, you can remove your hand support. Just place your hands in front of your heart. Do the variation that feels good in your body a couple more times, using the hands for support or not. And you can move in your own tempo, a little faster or slower, just what feels right in your body. Then cross your legs again, place your hands in front of you and come into tabletop position. Hands underneath the shoulders, knees hip distance apart. And to strengthen and warm up your hip muscles even more, lift your right knee up to the side and then release back to the mat. Moving with control, lift up and release, keeping the knee in line with the right hip. Gently squeezing that right glute on top as you lift the knee. This might be a little harder than it looks. Next time, lift and hold. Really squeeze your right glute. Lift a little higher. Well done. Straighten your right leg out to the side. And gently press your hips back towards the left heel and then forward towards your hands. Moving back and forth a couple of times, you might feel a bit more stretch now on the inner thighs and groin. Moving again at your own pace, you don't need to be as fast as I am here. Bring your right knee back into tabletop position and we will repeat the same on the other side. So lift your left knee up to the side and then release. A few more times here. Keep pressing your hands into the mat. Try to just move your left leg up to the side without moving the rest of the body too much. Next time, lift and hold. Stay here, continue to breathe, even if this is challenging. Try to lift that knee even a little bit higher. And then slowly release. Straighten the left leg out to the side and press your hip back and forth. Just a few more rounds. Bring your knee back into tabletop, tuck your toes under and send your hips up and back into downward dog. Bicycle your legs, press the heels towards the ground one by one, warming up the back of the legs. Then straighten both legs. Look forward towards your hands and walk your feet to the top of the mat. Keep your feet around hip distance apart or even wider, toes turned slightly out. Sit your hips low into yoga squat and keep your fingertips on the mat for support. Straighten your legs, lift your hips up and then sit down into squat again. Repeat this move a few more times, and you can also use your blocks for support instead of keeping your hands down on the mat. Great, and then the next time you straighten your legs, bring your feet parallel to each other and take a big step back with your left leg. Lower hips down towards the floor, pull your chest forward and press your left heel back. This is the pose where you can use your blocks if you need more support for your hands. Stay active here, pressing the feet down into the mat. You can add some rocks back and forth, side to side, to go deeper into the hips. Change sides, step your left foot forward, right foot back. And again, pull your heart forward, press your right heel back, and maybe rock side to side, back and forth. Keeping your back leg really active. Step your right foot forward again. Bring your feet hip distance apart, parallel to each other. Start with your knees bent, relax your upper body over the legs and keep your hands, fingertips on the mat or hands on the blocks. Slowly straighten the legs, sending your hips up to the sky as much as you need to feel the stretch on the back of the legs and on the hips. Doesn't matter how this pose looks in your body, but you should feel that stretch. Taking a few more deep breaths in this standing forward bend to complete this warm-up sequence. Slightly bend your knees, let your arms hang heavy and roll your spine up to standing. Come to the top of the mat and stand with your feet around hip distance apart. We will continue with a series of standing poses. For chair pose, bend your knees, reach your arms up alongside the ears and sit your hips as low as you can. But keep your weight a little more in the heels. So if you notice you are shifting forward towards the toes, shift your weight back into the heels. Take another breath here, maybe sit even lower. And straighten the legs, release into forward bend. Plant your hands down and step your feet back into downward facing dog. Press your hips up and back, heels towards the ground. Take another breath. And then for warrior one, turn your left foot slightly out, ground the sole of the foot into the mat and bring your right foot forward to your right hand. Press your feet down and raise up into standing. Reach your arms up to the sky and bend the front knee above the ankle. Stay strong in the lower body, pressing down through the feet, and light in the upper body, lifting your heart, reaching up through the fingertips. Inhale in Warrior 1. Exhale, release your hands down and step back into Downward Facing Dog. For the other side, turn your right foot out and bring your left foot forward. Bend the knee, ground both heels and reach your arms up into Warrior 1. Check that your upper body and hips are turning more towards the front of the mat. And your front knee, your left knee is facing forward over the toes, not falling inwards. Take one more breath in Warrior 1. And with exhale, release your hands down, step your left foot back, find your Downward Facing Dog. For high lunge position, step your right foot forward and keep your back heel, your left heel lifted this time. Raise up to standing, reach your arms up to the sky, and you will immediately notice that this position is either harder or easier for your body than Warrior 1. Try to keep your left heel high above the ball of the foot. Inhale in high lunge and exhale Warrior 2. Release your left heel in line with the right heel. Reach arms out to the sides. The front knee stays bent over the ankle, facing forward over the toes. And the body is facing now the long edge of the mat. For side angle pose, release your right forearm to the side and straighten your left arm over the head. Or you can try with the block. Keep your block on the inside of your front foot, as high as you need it. Gently press your right knee out with your right upper arm, the elbow, and slightly rotate it just up to the ceiling. With your next breath, release your hands down and step your right foot back, Downward Facing Dog. Same sequence on the other side. Bring your left foot forward, keep your right heel lifted and raise up into high lunge or crescent lunge. Bend the front knee above the ankle. Keep your balance. You can try focusing your gaze on some unmoving object in front of you or down on the floor. Inhale in high lunge and exhale Warrior 2. Ground your heels in one line. Reach your arms out in line with the shoulders, with palms facing down. And check that your left knee is facing forward and gaze forward over your left hand. Side angle pose, just like on the other side. Forearm to the thigh or hand to the block. Find what works. Still staying strong in the legs, pressing the feet down into the mat. And also adding the stretch. You may feel it on your groin, inner thighs, also maybe side of the body. Take one more inhale. And exhale, release your hands down, find your downward facing dog. Then bend your knees, look forward and walk or step your feet to the top of the mat. Raise up to standing. And for a bit of balance, bring your palms together to your heart, shift weight into your right foot, cross your left knee over the right, bend both knees and sit as low as you can. Try also crossing your left ankle behind your right shin if this comes naturally, otherwise don't worry about it, just press your inner thighs into each other, sit your hips as low as you can, breathe. Then slowly uncross your legs, maybe shake them out between the sides. And for the other side, cross your right knee over the left, bend your standing leg, maybe wrap your ankle behind the shin, and find your balance here. Squeezing the inner thighs against each other. Focus your gaze, this also helps with the balance. Take another breath, maybe sit a little lower. And slowly release, unwrap your legs. And take your feet wide apart. Turn your toes out, heels in. Bend the knees above the ankles and make sure that the knees face in the same direction as the toes. Bring your palms to your heart. And stay for a few breaths in goddess position. Pressing the knees out, sitting your hips low. Feeling the work in the legs, in the thighs, in the hips, glutes. One more breath here. And then straighten the legs. Position your feet parallel to each other, hands on the hips. Inhale, lift your heart, gently push your hips forward, and with exhale, fold down. Bring your hands to the mat or to the blocks, or you can even clasp the opposite elbows to add weight to the upper body and gently sway the upper body side to side. Letting the upper body hang from the hips. The legs stay strong. Sit bones reach up to the ceiling like in downward facing dog. Release your arms and come all the way up to standing. Turn your right foot out, reach your arms out to the sides, reach far forward with your right hand and release your hand to the shin on top of the block for triangle position. Left arm reaches up to the sky and you can look up to the ceiling, in front of you down to the mat. Gently rotate your chest up to the sky, pull your left shoulder back. Press all the way up and switch sides. Turn your left foot out, right foot parallel to the edge of the mat. Reach far forward with your left hand from the hips and release the hand down. Continue to breathe into the belly, chest, side ribs. Great job! Press all the way up. Bring your feet together and come to the top of the mat. Inhale, sweep your arms out and up. Exhale, forward bend from the hips. Plant your hands down and step your feet back into downward dog. Press the hips up and back, heels down towards the floor. Then for pigeon, bring your left knee forward behind your left wrist. Shift your hips back and release your right knee to the floor. Move your hips slightly side to side to find a comfortable position. The left foot can stay closer to the groin or a bit more away from the groin, with shin parallel to the front of the mat. Just make sure your knee is feeling okay with one of these positions. Slowly release down to the forearms, or maybe even all the way down, forehead to your hands. And relax your whole body into this pose. Let your breath calm down after the standing sequence as we slowly transition into seated and reclined hip stretches. Come up to your hands. Slowly take your left leg back into downward facing dog, just to switch sides. And bring your right leg forward. Find a comfortable knee position, comfortable position for your shin. Let your hips sink down towards the floor and slowly lower to your hands or relax your forehead to the mat. Take your time and give your body time to relax into this stretch. With every breath, letting go of tightness in the hips. Slowly make your way back into downward dog. Take your time. And then for lizard pose, bring your left foot forward to the outside of your hands. Release your back knee to the floor. Let your hips sink down towards the mat. And stay here on the hands. If you feel like you need more support, place blocks underneath the hands. If you want to go deeper, you can catch your right foot with your left hand and gently press that heel down towards the glutes, increasing sensations on the front of your right hip, quads, hip flexors. Staying with the breath, breathing in and out, letting your body know that this position is safe and the body can relax. Release your back foot if you're holding it. Bring your hands to the floor, to the mat, and take your left leg back into tabletop and then downward dog. For the other side, bring your right foot forward, release your left knee down, and find the same position on the other side, staying on your hands, just letting the hips sink down towards the floor, or catching your back foot with your right hand, maybe using the blocks for support if you need a bit more height. Find what works. Slowly release. Make your way into downward facing dog one more time. Press your heels down, hips up. Find the stretch on the back of the legs. Then release your knees down to the floor. Bring your knees together and cross your right knee behind your left. Widen your heels and slowly sit down between your heels. Try to lower both sit bones to the mat. For a bit more comfort, you can use a block or a blanket here. Place it underneath your sit bones to sit up a little higher. Relax your hips down. Lengthen your spine. Bring your hands to your feet and breathe here. If you don't feel much stretch, try leaning forward to your hands into forward bend. This might increase the intensity. You may feel this stretch on the outer hips on both sides or just one side, a bit like in pigeon. Try to relax into position with every breath, letting go of tightness. And let's slowly switch sides. Make your way back into tabletop position. And cross your left knee behind your right. Widen your feet and sit down between the heels. See how it works on this side. One side might be a little more tight, so you may need props on one side but not on the other. Stay upright or lean forward over the legs. Staying gentle with your body. It's okay if the stretch feels a bit intense, but you shouldn't feel any pain, especially not on the knees. To release from here, Just slowly straighten your legs out in front of you. Circle your ankles, move your toes, release your legs. Then bend your right knee, place your right foot to the inside of your left thigh. The upper body is facing your straight leg. Inhale to reach your fingertips up and exhale, bend forward. You can keep your hands on the mat or hold your ankle or foot. The knee can be straight or slightly bent. And if your right knee is above the ground, that's okay as long as it doesn't cause any sensation in the knee. Otherwise, you can support that knee with a block or with a blanket. Keep reaching your chest forward towards your toes. Feeling the stretch in the hamstrings, around the hips. Lift your upper body to release. Straighten your right leg. Bring your left foot to your inner thigh. Turn your upper body to your right leg. Inhale, straighten your arms up. And exhale, fold forward. Again, staying with your hands on the floor or holding your ankle, foot. Taking full deep breaths. Release and lift your upper body. And then for bound angle or butterfly, bring the soles of the feet together as close to the groin as comfortable. Open the knees out, hold your feet and stay upright, or again lean forward towards your feet. Gently press your knees out with the elbows to increase the inner thigh and groin stretch. I really like doing this pose sitting up on a block or a blanket just to elevate the hips and help the pelvis to tilt forward. Just sitting on the edge of the block or a cushion can also work. Lean forward and keep holding your feet or just extend your arms forward. A few more breaths, softening the area around the hips, letting the tension release. Then lift the upper body and straighten the legs out to the sides. can still sit up on a block or a cushion if you are doing so. Take your feet as wide as comfortable. Flex the feet so the toes point up. And gently fold forward from the hips. Staying on your hands, so lowering down to the forearms. Enjoy this deep hamstring and hip stretch. And try to let go with every breath. Slowly release. Lift the upper body, bring your legs together and lay down on your back with your knees bent. Keep your feet hip distance apart and drop your knees to the right into reclined twist. Just stay here, or you can also place your right foot over your left knee to weight the knee down a bit more. And increase the stretch on the front and side of the hip. Bring your knees back to center and drop them to the other side. Maybe again placing the left foot on top of the right knee, or just staying with your feet down. Few more breaths on this side. Bring your knees back to center. And then straighten your legs, extend your arms a little bit away from your body. Turn your palms to face up. Close your eyes. Scan your whole body from head to toe. Notice if you're still unconsciously holding tension anywhere. And try to let go of this tension. Relax your face, neck, shoulders, arms, hands, fingertips. Let your breath flow freely into your rib cage and belly. Soften your hips, thighs, shins, feet. Take one more really deep breath into your belly and out through the nose. Bring your legs together. Reach your arms overhead. Interlace fingers. Press your palms away from you for one big full body stretch. Then bend the knees. Roll over to the side and come up into cross-legged sit, just like we started this class. Find a comfortable position, relax your shoulders, close your eyes, and notice how you feel now after this practice. Maybe you feel a bit more space around the hips, lower back. Maybe this position is just a little bit more comfortable now. Take a big inhale, reach arms up to the sky. Exhale, bring your palms together to your heart. Put a gentle smile on your face and open your eyes. I hope you enjoyed this class and you noticed some difference in your body. I wish you a great day and see you in the next video. Bye!